Uja. So I'm having a cup of tea. It's this hibiscus tea from Nile Valley Herbs. I'm having the plain hibiscus, but I also have hibiscus mint. And I'm mixing it with orange today, so it's going to be really special. Wish you could see the color. That really doesn't do it justice. It's just a beautiful color. Anyone who's tuning in, if you could hit the screen, they say that'll help more people find out about it. And I wish I could send you some of this tea. It's really fabulous. All right. Uja and Dua for tuning in. This is the conclusion. Oh my goodness, what is this? This is the conclusion of the series of Ancient African Adorations in honor of Goddess HetHeru and her journey from Kemet to Nubia and then Nubia back to Kemet. And during this week, we've been making our offerings by observing the from this goddess book by Dr. Mwada Ashby, African Religion, Volume 5. He has the translation of the parables from the story of HetHeru and Djehuti. So each day we have covered a different one, and I have sung the parable or paraphrased the parable, or I just came up with a chant. The chant just came through me. Uja, are you? Am I? I am. I exist. I am. And we've been following the calendar put forth by Temple of Amun for the year 38,787, and then in July the Kemetic New Year begins, and so it begins with 38,787, and then it's going to conclude 38,788, and then it's time to order the calendar for 2022, and it'll say 38,788, and then in July we'll switch to 38,789. So that is a very old calendar. I don't know if there's any that are that old. And this is based on carbon dating and checking the levels of water damage at the Giza and the Sphinx. So it's technical how they came up with the dates. Oh, no problem. I'm glad you asked questions. What kind of calendar is this? This is a calendar of Natarian holidays, ancient Egyptian spiritual holy days, Kemetic holy days. And they're pretty standard throughout all traditions or cultures or systems that follow the ancient Egyptian calendar. This one features the holy days plus the full moons and new moons, equinoxes and solstices. And I used to try to do a concert every week, and that wasn't working out for me. So I said, what if I just start observing the holy days? And you can get the calendar. It has beautiful artwork each month, and it lists the divinity of the season, the divinity of the month. It has a quote from the scriptures, and that's what I've been using for Ancient African Adorations. And this is the one I have where I have all my notes, what I'm going to be doing. Because I did a detox this week before the solstice. So I was writing it down. And when I started this, I didn't know that December was going to be so full. You know, there's a holiday here, and then there's a few days off, and then there's a holy day, and, you know, then the moons. And this time, there's 6 or 7 days in a row, then the full moon, then there's the winter solstice, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other holidays. Someone wants to join me. Okay. So, it's been a very busy week. And today is the day of the conclusion of these holy days. And I have a microphone plugged in, so I can't hear your questions. I'm sorry, but if you type them in, I can respond. I put a microphone in so we can get a better sound. So as I was saying, this has been a very busy week, and today is the final installment of the series of the journey of HetHeru. We started on December 4th. Well, I did mine on December 5th. I wasn't available on December 4th, but the holiday is December 4th. Goddess HetHeru goes to Nubia. I'm looking at it backwards here. And then I suppose this is the time during her travels to Nubia. And when she got to Nubia, she was sent to Nubia to, where did I get my calendar? Oh, templeofamoon.com. Templeofamoon.com. I'll post it in the replay video. Well, I can type it. I think I can. No, I can't type here. Maybe. No questions yet. Yeah. Okay. Maybe if you ask a question down there, I can type it in. Templeofamoon.com. TEMPLEOFAMUN.com. Yeah, I've put in my request for a new one. I haven't sent in my payment, but I've told them that I definitely want one. They're saving one for me. So before I begin, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Arit Neteres Meri Ma'ati. You may know me as Tachia Amet. Tachia Amet is my cultural name, and I took on the name Arit Neteres Meri Ma'ati when I became initiated into the Temple of Shatau Neter, Temple of Aset. Arit means offering. It's also the name for the Sefik Bara, the chakras. It's a name for action. Neteres, musical offerings to my tutelary divinity, Mary Ma'ati, beloved by the dual goddesses of Ma'at. Oh, great. They'll love it. Tell them you heard about it from me. And I studied at Kemet University, Sema Institute, Temple of Shatau Neter, Temple of Aset with Dr. Mwada Ashby, Dr. Karen Ashby, Seba Jah, Say by Ma. And I'm taking a break from my studies to get the music organized, because every time I study the teachings with them, more music comes. And I have this huge backlog of music, and I wasn't making time for it. So, and it's given me a chance to fully digest and process all the teachings that I've already studied. I was really inspired by the class for the Temple of Aset, and I got up to lesson 8 and then realized there's no end to the class, and I needed to step back and process everything that was happening, because it was just a lot. It was really life-changing. I also studied the yoga posture system, HetHeru, and it was during that process that I became aware of my ego identity. Thanks to Seba Jah, she literally pounded it into me. She gave me a series of questions, and by the end of the series of questions, I could say, oh, well, that is my ego speaking up. That's my royal personality, my higher self, and that's definitely my ego. And that combined with the Temple of Aset, everything was just, that's my favorite symbol, the duality and the caduceus. And so now I'm focusing on the practical aspects of this temple. And I have a temple here, Asmataji Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds, that encompasses the music, the sound healing, the wellness services, and the wellness products. So I am in the process of getting all that together. In 2022, it's finally going to come together. So I'm just here to express my gratitude and make musical offerings, because when I share this music, the wisdom teachings, I share my gifts, it raises my vibration. I'm able to radiate more purely and makes life so much better. And then I'm able to share the wisdom teachings with others, and then they can have wonderful experiences as well. So, with all that being said, let's get on to the music. So, I think I mentioned the parables are in here, this book here, and we're on the conclusion, which is on page 20. And usually I do like a impromptu. I just have the teachings typed up, and then when I sit here before you, the music comes through. But last night, after we finished the parable 4, I was so energized. I said, well, let me just type up my notes now so that I'm, ready. And while I was typing, a melody came through. I don't even think I forgot to listen to it, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I forgot to practice it, so it's still going to be new. But it was really beautiful. We'll see what happens today. And so this parable is on page 20 of the Goddess book. And next week we'll be following the story of the goddesses that are in the book. And then on December 31st is the night that Sirius culminates. That's the time when in the Western society we celebrate the New Year at midnight. However, the star Sirius culminates at midnight, and that is the origin of the New Year observance. It's very serious. And so for the Goddess Festivals, we'll be meeting at 6 a.m. And for the December 31st, I'll be here at 12 midnight. But we'll start at 11:45 or whatever. Okay, so that's the housework. Let's start with the opening prayers. I haven't talked about my heart very much recently, and I know you can't always see the whole beautiful work of art, so let me take a moment to express my gratitude to Louis Afrifa. You can find him on YouTube and social media. He plays these instruments. He's a quarter player and a sapriwa player, and he makes them. He made this beautiful harp. The Seba Man Sepaja had gifted me a Ugandan harp, which looks like the ones from ancient Kemet. And when it broke one day, I was devastated, and I posted a picture of it on Facebook. And Louis reached out to me and said, I can make you a harp. And so he sent me this one. He didn't give it to me. He sent me this one. And he said one day he would make a Ugandan harp for me too. But so far, I just love this one so much. Is that a question? Oh, thank you, Emma, for sharing the video. Okay. So, and then if you're asking about these crazy shades, these are pinhole glasses. They have tiny holes in them, and they force your eyes to focus instead of magnify what you look at. So they make your eyes stronger instead of making them weaker. When they get weaker and weaker, you just get more and more subscription glasses, which is great for the optometrist, but it's just not good for your eyesight. So I've been wearing these for 18 years now, and the more you wear them, the better your eyes become, and you can purchase them at lightbeingwellness.com/shop. Well, he makes them and sells them. So, yes, he made it, and I bought it. Yeah, he makes them. He makes koras. He makes all kinds of instruments, all kinds of string instruments in Africa, in Ghana. And like I said, Louis Afrifa, Afrifa. Okay, so we're going to start with the opening chant, Om Nebuchadnezzar Caprita Asar Om, which refers to Nebuchadnezzar, the all-encompassing divinity, coming forth as Kepra, the creator of the gods and goddesses, the creator of the cosmic forces, the creator of the universe. And then Nebuchadnezzar came forth as a Sar in the human form as the divine universal soul. And that describes our journey as well. We are the all-encompassing divinity of our universe, of our life that we're creating and projecting. And so we have this Khepera transformation aspect within ourselves, like when we manifest and visualize. And then we have Asar as our divine soul that is going through the manifestation. So this is an offering to ourselves as well. Om Nebuchadnezzar Khepera Saro. 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 Yes, the phrase Om, most people associate with the culture from India, the Hindu tradition. However, it does appear, let me make a note of these things I am mentioning so I can make a TikTok about it. I have a piece of paper handy. There we go. Laden papyrus. Laden papyrus. Om. I think I made a video about it a while back. Time for another one. Yes, and it means the, the unspeakable, unknowable name of the Creator. Of course, we do have a name for the Creator, and that is Nebuchadnezzar. But the actual name is unspeakable. You can only know the essence. I just felt that right there. Let's take a moment to breathe. Breathe in the awareness. There's so many things to be thankful for. And the most important thing that I am thankful for is the awareness of the divine within me. Because for so long I was studying and chanting and praying and, having rituals and celebrations. And intellectually, I knew of the divine within me. But since I was studying, like I said, with the preceptors, I am aware of the divine within me, and I can feel it. Because I was really numb from a lot of trauma, and these wisdom teachings have done so much for me. Just so much. And the awareness, another way of saying that is enlightenment, but, it's kind of, well, there's some traditions that say you can't possibly be enlightened in this lifetime, and there's some traditions that say you're enlightened in every moment. And I am of the sensation or belief or feeling that we have the potential to be enlightened in every moment. We just have to choose it because it's right there. We can choose ignorance or we can choose enlightenment. And that basically sums up the journey of HetHeru and Sekhmet. She went, I'm sure she didn't really want to go to Earth and start killing people when she was HetHeru, but she did because that's what she was required of her. And when she got there, she enjoyed her job so much that she forgot her divinity. And by tuning in with the cosmic mind, the divine intelligence of Lord Djehuti, she was able to bring herself back. So she chose enlightenment. So it was actually HetHeru in the form of Sekhmet that chose enlightenment over ignorance. And we are encouraged to do the same. We have many tools available to us, including musical offerings and wisdom teachings like the ones that are being presented today. Right? Yeah, it's sunrise, so let's offer. Of course, I don't have the translation with me. Let me go get it. At least I know where it is, right? So I can get there without knocking anything down. You wouldn't believe all the wires here on the floor. I can't really move. Okay, there we go. Now I get back in. If I inhale, I can make it. Good, I didn't knock any. I only knocked over one thing. Yes. So this is the translation from the offering Adorations from page 28. Recitations were Ushed in the morning. Opening prayer A from the ancient Kemetic book of Coming Forth by Day, also known as Oh Nefer, I love you too. Amber is your energy. Opening prayer book Coming Forth by Day, which is also known as the Book of the Dead. And it's only called the Book of the Dead because you're supposed to recite the offerings when someone is dying or really sick or at the memorial, their funeral, because they're coming forth into their enlightenment. If they did their work on earth, it's being born into the netherworld, which is the real existence. And we're supposed to recite these offerings in our daily life because this life is considered death or asleep, and we're trying to wake up. And instead of waiting until the moment of our death, we want to wake up before we die so that when our body dies, we retain our awareness and consciousness and don't have to reincarnate and come back and go through this again and again, because that's the purpose of life, is to remember that this is an illusion and to wake up and be born into eternity. So that's the whole purpose. All right, so here's the translation. Adorations to Ra when he rises in horizon eastern. Homage to Ra coming forth as Capita. Capita, creator of the gods and goddesses. Risingly, shiningly, lighting up thy mother. Rising as Lord, king of the gods and goddesses. Your mother Nut does an act of worship to you with both arms. Manu, the western horizon, receives thee in peace. And Ma'at embraces thee at the double season perennially. So before I offer this song, I just want to acknowledge that at the beginning of creation, okay, so Nebuchadnezzar always existed, and Nebuchadnezzar is consciousness that created this like simulation or video game or whatever you want to call it, and so Capita is the one that created everything in creation, and Ra, of course, is the creation itself. And the first three cosmic forces that were born with creation, the moment of creation, was HetHeru, Ma'at, and Djehuti. And so in the myth of HetHeru and Sekhmet, it involves Djehuti. And so this offering to our Kef also acknowledges Goddess Ma'at, who was also at the beginning. So I hadn't thought of that before. And so this is a melody we learned from Say by Ma at the Temple of Shatau at the Temple of Aset. And it's also blended with the melody from Ua Bratim. May he rest in music. Do da kef, do benef, in my kitchen bed. On a test, dark ATM, Kepara. Kepara came on, Netaru. Kake, Uben, K, Pesid, Mood, K. Katiem, Suten, Netaru. Manu and my tap up to my other do what I can, do an F in my cat to get in bed. On a desert, I gave ATM, Capara came on, Netaru. Kake, you and K, visit Mood K. Do a tap. Tea time. Guess I don't need my spoon anymore. It's hitting me in the face. All right. So I want to, Dua for joining. All right. So I wanted to show off this little, is it an altar? Yes, it's an altar to HetHeru and Sekhmet. Of course, I have a beautiful candle. And I have these statues that I got in Egypt. Well, the Sekhmet statue, a friend brought back to me. I didn't go with them on that trip. And asked someone if they see a Sekhmet to bring it home. And she was like, oh, it's so hard. I doubt we'll find one, but we'll look. And they said when they were walking out of the HetHeru temple, she was there waiting for me. So I have the Sekhmet. And then when I went a few years later on a trip with just myself, it was a musical initiatic journey. And I do have blog posts talking about some of the experiences. And they had this smaller statue of HetHeru. And at first I was like, well, that's not right. HetHeru should be bigger. And then I started thinking about it. Well, actually, Sekhmet is the one that really, had the spiritual strength to say, wait a minute, I'm not going to be like that anymore. Djehuti's right. I'm going to head back to Kemet. Then I have some Sekhmet fragrance I got at, I don't know if you can smell it through the internet. Haha. I wish you could. Actually, I'm going to be selling these also pretty soon. So you will be able to smell it. I'm just waiting to get some labels printed. And then I thought this was fun. I had these beautiful flowers, how you have mums for the fall. And they're all dried up. And I hadn't thrown away the bouquet because they're so pretty. And I said, well, it's going to be the winter solstice soon. So when I go to the lake on the winter solstice, I'm going to throw these into the fire. So I saved them. And then I also have the sistrum that I got at Abydos. If you'd like one of these, I can arrange for you to get one. If you just direct, inbox me, or you could email me at lightbeingwellness@gmail.com, and my contact in Abydos can get one for you. It's copper, and it's got the, as usual, it's got the 3 upper aritu, Sefer Bara, and then I say the 4th one is at the heart chakra, the heart, HetHeru. And when you shake the system, it eliminates chaos. I know it's coming through really loud for you, YouTube, but we're getting rid of chaos for you today. So that's my little offering altar. There's a question. One day we probably will be able to... you are so right. She said one day we'll probably be able to smell it. That's so funny. I'm not planning on joining the metaverse, so it won't be from me. But I think you're right. They're going to figure out a way for you to smell things in the metaverse. I made a joke the other day. I posted, are you going to have to get a vaccine to be able to go into the metaverse? Because I won't be there either. Thank you. All right, so now let's get into the goddesses. Enough of the intro. Let's get right to the heart. All right, so we're going to start with HetHeru. So yesterday, last night was the first time that I was called to, make offerings to Sekhmet. And so I'll be doing a little bit of that again today. But right now we're going to do this chant. This one kind of combines HetHeru with Sekhmet. It's Dua HetHeru Netrita, Adorations to HetHeru, the great goddess. And she's the great goddess because why? Because she had forgotten herself. She had spiritual amnesia and was able to come back to her divinity by listening to the cosmic mind of Lord Djehuti. So she's considered a great goddess, the greatest goddess. And then Dua HetHeru Sekima, the power of the life force energy. And that is, to me, refers to the goddess Sekhmet as well. So I'll say Dua HetHeru Netrita, Dua HetHeru Sekima, Nukpu HetHeru Netrita, Nukpu HetHeru Sekima. And you can sing along with me, and at one point I'll have like a call and response, so you can respond. That's like the African way. Well, not like, that is the African way. And this is another chant from Temple of Shataneter, Temple of Aset. Oh, I forgot to mention Uabratim, who is, his essence is in my version of Duat Arkef, is the founding priest of the Temple of Amun.com, the one that publishes the calendar. So when you connect with templeofamun.com and get your calendar, you remember Uabratim. I'll try to play it over here so it's not so loud in the microphone. Dua HetHeru Netrita. Dua HetHeru Netrita. Dua HetHeru Netrita. Dua HetHeru Netrita. Dua HetHeru Sekima. Dua HetHeru Sekima. Dua HetHeru Sekima. Dua HetHeru Sekima. Nukpu HetHeru Netrita. Nukpu HetHeru Netrita. Nukpu HetHeru Netrita. Nukpu HetHeru Netrita. Nukpu HetHeru Sekima. Nukpu HetHeru Sekima. Nukpu HetHeru Sekima. Nukpu HetHeru, Nukpu HetHeru, Nukpu HetHeru Sekima. Okay, now let's do call and response. Do a HetHeru Netvita. Do a HetHeru Netvita. Do a HetHeru Netvita. Do a HetHeru Netvita. Nipu HetHeru Netvita. Nipu HetHeru Netvita. Nipu HetHeru Netvita. Nipu HetHeru, Nipu HetHeru, Nipu HetHeru, Netvita. A tap, effort. All right, now I'd like to have an opening prayer for Sekhmet from the Raseki Arts Temple. I don't know if you're familiar with Raseki, the Kemetic Reiki. Kajara Niyaya is the head priestess there. And this is one of the, I'm just sharing with you aspects of my music, Shetty. Looks like. Yep, I think so too. I think that you will need to be vaxxed in order to enter the metaverse. I mean, it makes sense, right? Nice dreads. Oh, well, thank you. It's Nature. Nature is my hairdresser. And watch one of my other promotional TikTok videos to learn what I use to, for my self-care. The Tichia medicinal salves. Okay. All right. So let's get on with this offering. I usually play the sistrum. I'm going to play the harp. And this is a prayer for courage. And it is composed by Rekit Kajara Nebehet. All right. Let's see what the tune is. I really enjoy playing the harp, this harp, because I feel like I'm playing a bass. Like when I play this harp, sometimes it has a reggae feel to it. Can't always have the same tune, it's always different, but it's got a good vibe. Yeah. Oh, just mention the lyrics to the offering is from the book Sekhmet Rising, available at Amazon.com and Raseki store. So, I don't know if you can see that. I will make the link available in the summary video, because I'll usually have a little clip that has the highlights, or one of the highlights. They're all highlights. It already changed. When I put it down to give the announcement, it changed keys. There we go. Ya segment. Ya segment. Ya segment. Do a segment. Oh, segment. Mightier than the HetHeru. Grand one of fury. Come forth to me. Shine your light on me. Shine your light within me. Bring light where there is darkness. Oh, segment. Oh, segment. Oh, segment. She who travels in lightning, remove my fears. Give me courage, the courage to stand up and speak up with righteousness and truth. Today and every day, may it be so. Ya segment. Ya segment. Ya segment. To a segment. To a segment. To a segment. Nookboo segment. Nookboo segment. Nookboo segment. Nookboo segment. So damn. That was lovely. Never. I think I just learned something about. Does this go this way? No, I'm not sure. I'm just learning about streaming on other platforms, and looks like this one could go horizontal, so I'll try that next time. Yes, I'm currently streaming on TikTok, YouTube, and Telegram. Well, that was lovely. Like I said, I usually just chant that with my system. This time I edited it with music. It was awesome. Okay. A little bit more to HetHeru. Okay, so since this is the conclusion, and that one was about standing up. Let's see. Oh, I don't have those lyrics in front of me. When I start doing this, I just start rhyming. See if I can find it quickly. I know the song. I just don't know the. I don't know if I know the translation for sure. I'll tell you, try to stand up. Now. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna take a minute and see if it's in my music book. May or may not be readily available. This is exactly why taking a little break is to try to get all this organized. I have all these lyrics, and I need to be producing a songbook. I have 6 reggae and world music CDs out that don't have songbooks. They've never even really been promoted, the music, the CDs. And if not now, when? That's one of the lines in one of my songs. If I don't take the time to do it now, when will I? So I'm just going to take a minute to see if this happens to be in one of these folders. I'm just looking for the translation. Oh, I found it. Oh, but it doesn't have the oh yes, it does have the translation. Okay. Yeah, so stay tuned. There'll be songbooks for all of these songs, and CDs available, and music videos, and touring again. I'm very grateful to have come into the Kemetic wisdom. I don't know if you followed my music journey. I started as a reggae artist, and then the music has been a spiritual journey. I started in reggae, Rastafari, then went to Black Hebrew Israelite. Then I found out about my indigenous heritage, which I had no idea, so I was writing native reggae songs. And then the reggae culture was good for my soul, because I felt my roots. But I needed something more to deal with my consciousness, because I was stepping out of trauma, just like Sekhmet. So then I got into Japanese Buddhism, and I've been doing yoga the whole time, so I was always studying the Vedic and Hindu culture. And then I was in the Buddhism for like 20 years, and I said, I need to know more about Kemetic culture. I know about all these traditions from the 4 directions, because that's what I learned from the Native Americans, the indigenous people of the 4 directions. And these times are supposed to come together and share the wisdom. Uja, do it for tuning in. Yes, that's great. I would love you to come over from TikTok. So then I've been studying the Kemetic teachings for, this is my 12th year. I thought it was 11th. It's the 12th year. And there's just so much music. I released my first music video earlier this year. And it wasn't even a reggae video. It was Kemetic wisdom, and it was a rock song. It wasn't even reggae. That song is called Two Roads, by the way, and it's based on wisdom teachings from Dr. Muada Ashby from the book Mu'at Philosophy. And it's a beautiful song and a beautiful video. Anyway, what was another question? How did I have time to study all this? That is what I ask myself. I don't know. I really don't know. And when I stopped cold turkey. I didn't tell anyone. I just said, I have to take a break. There's so much information in my little body that I'm just saturated. There's still so much I'm missing right now. It's only been a few months, and I've missed lifetimes of wisdom. The real question is, how is it that Seba Ma is able to write so many books and translate so many scriptures and give so many lectures? How is he able to do that? Okay, if we can answer that question, then maybe we can figure out how we have time to study. I don't know. I think a lot of other areas of my life were feeling it, like my finances, practical reality, so I have to balance them. It seemed like I was either or. And it was like a tug. And so there's some things going on where I have to really focus and take care of them. So that's what I'm doing. I think the way you do it is you just balance. You have to remember the balance of Aset and Nebuchadnezzar, the spiritual and the physical. And that's, Sebama gave me that in my name. And so I started really paying attention to that. And so my life is going to be like this, not just this. It's interesting because the symbol of the Western medical system is taken from the Caduceus. Some of them show the two snakes, and some only show one, which is a sure indication of the deception and the imbalance within the medical industrial complex. Uja, thank you for tuning in. Okay, I'm talking a lot, but I have so much to say. So for this one, I'm going to stand up because it's called HetHeru. Aha. Sorry, Telegram. I don't know if you're going to be able to see me standing up. Okay. And this is from Dr. Maud Ashby Sebama. Oh, I'll read the translation first. HetHeru, raise yourself up, stand up in your true form as the great goddess of power, the life force. You are the mistress of the world. You are all-encompassing divinity, the light of the world. The people on earth and gods and goddesses all praise your name. You are mistress of the world. You are all-encompassing divinity, HetHeru, the great goddess of beauty. HetHeru aha imsekema tenetrita tenebitawi tenebeje ubintawi raketiri neterueri aneteskere tenebitawi tenebeje tenetrita nefe. One more time. HetHeru aha insekema tenetrita tenebitawi tenebeje ubintawi raketiri neterueri aneteskere tenebitawi tenebeje tenetrita nefe. Tap. Okay. Some more questions. Yes, finding the balance. That is definitely part of enlightenment. That is Ma'at. The balance. Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay. So I just remembered that I was supposed to sing this song after the teaching, so I might sing it again because then you'll understand it. Okay. All right. Another sip of tea. I'm glad I stood up because I got to see a view of the sunrise. I usually go to my front window and watch the sunrise. And I can see the sky changing from here, but I hadn't noticed the beautiful colors that come, kind of like the colors behind me. That's why I love these lights. And I never really learned how to work them, so anytime I move something, they change with the motion, like light motion detection. So I don't know how to turn it off. There, did it. Okay, so let's get on to the teachings. Now, what I've been doing for the parables is either paraphrasing them or I just sing them, musical accompaniment. And this one is kind of long, so I don't have a page turner. So after the second page, I'm going to have to pause and change the page. Yesterday in our presentation, we talked about how the parable from yesterday, well, all of them, but especially the one yesterday, reminds me of someone, and we all grew up hearing his works, Aesop fables, right? The fable of the parable of the lion and the mouse. When I was offering it yesterday, I said, this sounds really familiar. And so I looked it up, Aesop, and to my surprise, he was a Greek slave. What was the dates? I don't want to get the wrong dates. A Greek slave, I think 500. No. What was the? Oh. A Greek slave he lived between 620 and 564 BCE. A slave and storyteller, believed to have lived in ancient Greece. And then they have a picture of him with really curly hair. And I'm like, wait a minute. Ancient Greece, 620 to 564 BC. That sounds like Kemet when they were like, raiding it and everything. So they say he was Greek. I have a feeling he was a brother. And I don't believe in the whole thing about the Chemedians enslaving the Hebrews. He was enslaved by the Greeks. That's my opinion. That's not anyone else's opinion. Or I'm sure it is someone else's opinion. But check it out. And then, so then I was looking over the list of parables that are attributed to Aesop. And sure enough, the mouse and the lion is in this long list of his parables. They say that many other people wrote fables and added to them. I feel like he got his information from Kemet and especially Amenemopet. Yeah. And he was around the time of Sophocles, Pythagoras, Hippocrates, Herodotus. They say he was around Zoroaster, Buddha, Elijah. He's on a timeline with all these other great scholars and historians, Pericles. So I'm like, yeah, he was definitely Kemetic, living in during Greek occupation. So that's that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just play the harp and sing the parable. It's never been rehearsed or done before. Oh no, that's not true. This is one that I heard one right away and I forgot to listen to it. So we'll see if it comes back. I can't believe I forgot to practice that. Well, I'll have many versions of these songs, so it's okay. As they entered Kemet, the goddess was met with praises from the people, who were rejoicing at her return. Before entering the city of Waset, she lay down to rest. She fell asleep, and the watchful eye of Djehuti looked after her as she withdrew into the land of slumber. The enemies of Ra were not pleased with her return, so they plotted against her in the middle of the night. They sent the servant of chaos to poison her. In order to leave Ra defenseless, deprived of his protecting eye, however, Djehuti is ever vigilant all of the time. Notice the serpent still in the form of a wildcat. HetHeru jumped on the serpent and broke the serpent's back. She was grateful to Djehuti and recalled the wonderful parable of the mouse and the lion. She now knew that everything that Djehuti said was true. In the city of Wasset, there was a great feast in her honor, which lasted for 7 days. She transformed into the form of a beautiful, soothing, gentle, and kind woman. She and Djehuti continued to move northward. There they reached the sacred city of Heliopolis, the home of Ra. I don't think it's Heliopolis. There we go. There they reached the secret city of Anu, the home of Ra. And there was rejoicing in the city of Hetkopata. When HetHeru and Ra held each other again, all the gods and goddesses rejoiced. Transformed himself back into his original form. Then HetHeru recognized him, and her heart looked on with love and gratitude. To HetHeru, tap. I finally got the melody towards the end. All right, so that is the conclusion of the parables of Djehuti. And you can just, you can just visualize her walking back with Djehuti. And especially the time when they sent the serpent to take out HetHeru, and Djehuti woke her up And she just, jumped on the serpent and broke the back of the serpent. I've seen images of Bastet when she slays the snake, the serpent of Apep. And so Sekhmet, Bastet, and Tefnut are sisters. So I just see the same thing when I see the lioness breaking the back of the serpent. It was probably not a snake. It was probably like a serpent. And so the parable of the mouse and the lion, if you weren't here with me last night, there was a lion that was walking, and he came across some animals that had been injured by man, and the lion had never heard of man. And so he set out to try to destroy man, and on his way he came across a little mouse, and he was going to eat the mouse. And the mouse said, "Please don't eat me. One day I'll be my friend, and one day I'll save your life if you spare my life." I'm paraphrasing, of course. So the lion was like, "How can you save my life? I'm the great king of the jungle. I'm everything. How can you save my life?" And the mouse said, "Sometimes the weaker can save the stronger." And so the lion was like, "Well, whatever." Okay, so he let the mouse go, and sure enough, he fell into a trap and set by man and thought he was going to die because he couldn't get out. And the mouse came and spent all night chewing the ropes to free the lion. And that is the moral of the story. Let me see if I can just read it right here. The moral of the mouse and the lion parable is, the mouse worked upon the ropes all night, and before man could come to check the net, the lion had been freed from the death trap. "So, great lady," Djehuti began, "every power will someday meet a higher power, and the weak can sometimes help those who are strong." So that was a powerful reflection. Because the one about goodness, the one about meeting a higher power is from the parable, the second parable about the two vultures that got wind of a story of a bird fell into a lake. How does it go? A fly, that's what it is. A fly was eaten by a lizard. The lizard was eaten by a snake. The snake was caught by a hawk. The snake was so heavy that the snake and the hawk fell into the sea. And then a fish ate the snake and the hawk. And that fish was eaten up by a larger fish. And the bigger fish came too close to shore. A lion grabbed it out of the sea. And then the zephyr, or the griffin, which is a bird with a lion body. It's a lion with a bird head and wings, which is like a divine creature. That's what they call it. I mean, they're all divine, but I guess it's like, it reminds me of, for the reference of like the Wizard of Oz, the griffins that protect the witch. That's what the griffin reminds me of. And so the griffin took out the lion, and that moral is goodness is rewarded with goodness, and evil with evil. And then there's every power will someday meet a higher power. So my reflection right away went to vegetarian diet. And even at that time, even animals weren't supposed to be killing one another. That's what I got out of it. Anyway, those are my reflections. And this is when I was supposed to sing the song about HetHeru Aha. So I'm going to offer it again, because it's a time when they're coming back into the city and everyone is rejoicing that HetHeru has returned. Because if you remember from earlier, when she left, Kemet became very depressed and sad and gloomy, and they missed her so much. See anything going on? SteamYard. Okay. They missed her so much, so they rejoiced. And so this parable also tells us the schedule, because I thought that she spent 7 days killing the unrighteous, and then the festival, these days, was describing her journey coming back. But it seems like the festival to rejoice her return lasted 7 days. So But when I continue to do this observance, I will continue to bring, share the parables during the 7 days, not just have festivities. Because to me, this is festivities. It's music and wisdom teachings. Okay? So I will do that song one more time so we can really get into the festivities. I'll stand up again. So this is to commemorate the time when HetHeru and Djehuti are walking back into Kemet after their journey, and everybody's happy because, she's back. HetHeru in sekema tenebrita tenebitawi tenebitye ubentawi raketiri Netariri anateskere tenebitawi tenebitye tenetritat nefe. HetHeru, raise yourself up, stand up in your true form as the great goddess of power, the life force. You are the mistress of the world. You are all-encompassing divinity, the light of the world. The people on earth and gods and goddesses all praise your name. You are mistress of the world. You are all-encompassing divinity. HetHeru, the great goddess of beauty. Okay. No one asked for an encore, but I had to do that one again because I sang it too early. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do another song for segment with this harp again. This is one that I usually play on the piano. Do a segment, 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 do a segment. In every moment be enlightened. In every encounter see the true essence. In every situation rise above it. In every adversity see the gift of it all. Do a segment, do a segment, do a segment, do a segment. Look poo segment, look poo segment, look poo segment, look poo segment. In every moment be enlightened. In every encounter see the true essence. In every situation rise above it. In every adversity see the gift of it all. Look poo segment, 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 look poo segment. Okay. Yes, it's interesting singing with that instrument because it's not tuned to the, regular tuning. So to me it feels very haunting. I don't really know. People make jokes like, well, how do you know what music sounded like back then? Or how do you know how the words of the Medu Neter are pronounced? All I can say is I just know. I know I was there before, and it's still in me, and I know my ancestors were there, so it's in my DNA. So I just trust it. I trust what comes through. So when I say that, even though that harp is quote unquote out of tune, when I sing with it, no matter what I'm singing, like this song is the melody that I sing is the melody to that song, and it's, it's recorded on the piano. I've played it with the other harp, but when I sing it with this harp, I sing the same melody, but it's in like a different key. It's just, I don't know what key that is. And so sometimes I'm not really sure how it sounds, but when I keep playing it, I can hear it better. Like when I'm playing music like this, writing music or improv or spontaneous music coming through, I'm hearing it in the infinite mind, the cosmic mind of Djehuti. It comes through me. And I say that Nebuchadnezzar plays me as an instrument. Like I pick up my harp, and Nebuchadnezzar picks me up and plays me through this music and these offerings. And so even if I don't know how it sounds, I trust that that's how Nebuchadnezzar wants it to sound. Okay, so are there any questions or comments? I'm going to go on to the final offering for today. I've been closing every session with a rendition of this song. And like I said last night, I'm going to put them all together and make one long chant. And it's so powerful. You mentioned that earlier teachings were powerful. This right here is very powerful medicine for me, and I've been singing it all day. I just love it so much. And it's so simple. Those are the best ones. So maybe you can chant with me. I'll type the words in here. HetHeru Baheni. Because I learned that, I was reading one of the scriptures from Seva Ma, and it has Baheni in the actual literal transformation. And then when it gives the English, it's Nubia. So Baheni is Nubia, right? So Dua HetHeru in Baheni, Duk Dua Sek Met Im Kemet. Put on my glasses. Okay. If you want to sing along with me, those are the lyrics. And it refers to the journey of HetHeru to Nubia, Dua HetHeru in Baheni, and then her journey from Nubia back to Kemet, Nukpu, or Dua Sekmet in Kemet. So I'm going to try to play it for a long time. This time I usually have this anxiousness that I'm playing too long or boring people or taking up too much time and space, and I'm working on it. And so I'm going to see if I can play this song for 10 minutes. 7:16. See what happens. I'm going to have a sip of water. Some of my, I guess they're fans. They're members of the Temple of Shataneter. Well, one of them. And he is a fan. He said my songs weren't long enough. My first Kemetic devotional music offering CD, he said the songs weren't long enough. They need to be 10 minutes long. So the works I'm recording right now, they are between 7 to 10 minutes long. And, it's not unusual for spiritual music, devotional music, to be that long. My mentor, my favorite devotional musician, what do they call her? The Guru Diva, Mama, the hugging guru. Her chants are between 7 and 10 minutes long. I don't even know how many CDs she has right now. I have no idea. It's got to be like 50, maybe 100. Every time she tours, she just records the performances and releases a CD. And she tours non-stop. She has ashrams all over the world. That's my vision. She does hugging. I do sound healing. I don't know if you've ever heard of Amma or seen Amma, the hugging guru, the hugging saint. Thousands of people show up to her events. And she gives a free lecture to the public, and then for the week she gives, lectures to members, temple members. And then the final days, I think she starts Friday. Friday evening, and she gives a performance with her band, a music performance. That's the one they record. And then she goes up onto the stage, and other bands perform nonstop. Like one band's done, they do a set, another band comes, and like that, right? She's up on stage and she hugs thousands of people for at least 48 hours. 36, I'll say. Well, no. I don't even know. It depends on how many people are there. But you go there, you get a token, and when they get close to your number, you go close to the stage, and then you get up on the stage, and then you go and sit next to Amma, and she gives you a hug. And then you get off the stage. It's amazing. Her hugs are powerful. And then if you choose, you can sign up to get a mantra, and they'll give you a mantra. And you get a free meal. There's free food. And then there's vendors selling food also, but they provide meals. And you literally do not go to sleep. You stay up all night with Amma, and she hugs people all night and all day into the next evening. I've stayed overnight 2 different times. And you don't sleep. The energy is so high. And there's this great music playing, and she's up on stage hugging people, and they've got it down to a science, how to get people up on stage and get these hugs. So anyway, her music lasts like 7 to 10 minutes. And then if you just, all the other greats, I'm drawing a blank right now. Donna Delorey, who was a former background singer for Madonna, and now she's at the top of the charts of the devotional world music genre. I don't know if you've noticed, but that's where I'm transitioning from reggae into devotional world music. And then my other mentor, Alice Coltrane, I know her first. She became initiated in the Hindu tradition, and her first took on the name Turiya, and I can't remember her second name. But her harp solos, where she's just playing harp to the divinities and offering chants, her songs are also 7 to 10 minutes long. So, I just talked for 4 minutes. So I'm going to challenge myself and see if I can play this song for 10 minutes. At least 7. Okay? Here we go. And this is a new melody. I don't remember what I played yesterday. Do I HetHeru in the honey? Do I segment in command? Do I HetHeru in the honey? Do I segment in command? Do I HetHeru in the honey? Do I segment in command? Do I HetHeru in the honey? Do I segment in command? Milku HetHeru in the honey. Milku segment in command. Milku HetHeru in the honey. Milku segment in command. Do I HetHeru in the honey? Now I'm going to add Djehuti into the mix. Nuku HetHeru and Bahari. Nuku Sakmad and Command. Nuku HetHeru and Bahari. Nuku Sakmad and Command. Hey, I did 12 minutes. Oh, wow. Uja, Bastu Randa. Basu Randa. We're going to be Bastus someday. Maybe like 20 years from now. We'll be Bastus. Uja. Oh, right. Ooh, someone sent me some likes on TikTok. Thank you so much for sharing my live video. And I really appreciate you being here. I love it when you can tune in. I really enjoyed this week, this strength a lot. I came up with some beautiful new music. And I hope you enjoyed the full moon last night. It was cloudy here, so I was online doing the fourth parable during the full moon. That was exciting. And so tonight I have event at Haji Healing Salon for the full moon, and tomorrow night at Joplin Marley Studio for the full moon, and then on the 21st, on the equinox, I will be at the lake for the winter solstice observance live stream. And then also on the 21st, starting at 6 a.m., I'll be back. Well, those will be live streamed on the Kimatones YouTube channel. And then on the 21st, let me get the calendar just to be sure. Yes, the 21st, starting at 6 a.m., 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th will be the winter solstice observance of the Raising the Dead Pillar of Asar on 21st. The mysticism of Ushet Rekat, Worship of the Goddess, Festival of Lights on the 22nd. The 23rd will be 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th will be Worship of the Goddess. And the order that was shared with me, we're going to start with Asar on the 21st, then Ma'at on the 22nd, then Aset on the 23rd, Nebuchadnezzar on the 24th. It says Heru Aset, birthday of Heru, child of Aset. So I guess that one will just be like the Great Mother, like all the goddesses. And then the 26th, the worship of the goddess will be like, well, I haven't worked it out all the way. The 26th is the procession of all the goddesses. So I'm not sure about the 25th. I guess that's a mystery. I knew one. I love the joy that radiates from you. Kristen, thank you so much. Oh, Kristen, thank you so much. I do spend a lot of time getting myself to the point where I can radiate joy instead of radiate egoism. I'm being really real here. I do have my moments. And thankfully, thanks to these teachings, I'm able to remember my divinity and pull myself out of it a lot faster than I used to. As Saber Jai would say, progress in degrees over time. But in this moment, I am radiating joy. It's a joy to study the wisdom teachings and present musical offerings because it helps me, raise my vibration, and it helps people listening because it inspires them to do their journey and do their spiritual studies. And it's music for our spiritual journey. You know, the gods and goddesses all have boats, and we have a boat across the ocean of consciousness. One thing that's been helping me a lot, I learned from the Taurus Sima Pout Yoga Posture System, which will soon be presented in my own format with a little of my own reflections added. And I learned that I learned so much about from the postures about the wheel and the bridge, and Basu Rhonda can relate to this. When I get to those points of the program, I see myself as a wheel on a vehicle on the road to enlightenment, crossing over a river of troubled Ariyu. And then the bridge represents the bridge on the road to enlightenment, crossing over the river of troubled Ariyu, right? Because I realize I'm done with like trying to understand my Ariyu and heal everything and let go of everything and processing and all this. It's a lot. It takes a lot of time and work. That's the work. And I've been studying with another online coach who says, you know what? You can heal it instantly. So instead of me trying to like deal with all of it, I say, you know what? When I come to a river of troubled Ariyu, I just cross over it. I give thanks for it. I acknowledge it. And I just cross it. And then I was like, well, if I'm on my boat with the HetHeru, the gods and goddesses accompany me on my boat, like Ra has gods and goddesses accompany him, I have a boat that I sail across the ocean. That's what I'm doing when I'm playing music. I'm on my boat. My music is the energy for my boat. Okay, I learned that from studying with Sebama. He brought that clear to me. And so what about when I'm on the ocean of consciousness? I'm not on a road. I'm not in a vehicle. I'm in my boat. Well, swells of RU bubble up, currents of RU bubble up, troubling RU that are triggers and that can bring you down to the state that Sekhmet was in, right? When she forgot her divinity, when we're in that, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do all this. Oh, this is so hard. Oh, I can't remember my password. Oh, the computer crashed. Oh, my bank account is overdrawn. Oh, you know, when all those things are going on. That little chant that we just did, Dua, HetHeru, and Beheni. Oh, I'm in Nubia. Dua, Sekhmet, Im, Kemet. Oh, I'm headed back to my consciousness. So that's my tangent about those postures. That's how I got into the yoga postures, because they don't have reflections for those postures. They're just, you get into them. But for me, they're very important because I am, you know, moving across that ocean of consciousness. And that RAU, I purify it. I purify my RAU when I share my gifts. That's my formula now. When I share my gifts, I raise my vibration, my affluence, my money vibration. I radiate abundance, joy, prosperity, trust, enlightenment, awakening, gladness. I radiate that, and then I attract what is needed in order for me to continue to share my gifts. The other huge recollection or revelation that I had since this week has been, or this strength of HetHeru's journey, which actually started December 4th, is the ancestors told me that, and I honor the ancestors as a cosmic force of nature, just like we have the HetHeru, our different forces of nature. I see all the ancestors as a unified force of nature, the ancestral force. And they revealed to me that in order for me to feel success in my practical affairs, my business affairs, which is why I took a break from my studies, if you recall, balancing Aset and Nebet Het, is I've been trying to run a business when it's actually a temple. I actually registered my ministry as a temple in December 2012, and it was recognized in February 2013. And I have been, you know, what have I been doing? I've been comparing myself to businesses and trying to exist as a business when this is actually a spiritual mission, ministry, or organization. So that has been my greatest breakthrough and revelation since this journey of HetHeru to Nubia and back to Kemet. And I think it's very significant. All right, so now I'm definitely rambling, and thank you so much for your... Thank you so much. I'll read some of the comments. Don't we all laugh out loud? You are radiating joy so greatly. Great reflection. Yes, I use surfer analogy, like I'm just learning to become an amazing surfer of life and riding the waves. Yes, the waves of consciousness. That is so awesome. We don't even need a boat. We can just ride the waves of consciousness. What does Sepajah says? That everything in our reality is a wave of consciousness. Everybody that we meet, everyone that we see, all of you represent waves in my spiritual journey. And when the waves get rough, we don't bail ship. We can just surf. If the boat starts flooding or falls apart, we can just surf the waves of consciousness. I love that. I love that, Kristen Brown. The boat is very ancient. The boat is like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. You always see the nectars on boats. Like when you go to Dendera, all the gods and goddesses have boats, and they're like different constellations. And when you study the Vedic scriptures, the Hindu scriptures, all the gods and goddesses have a vehicle. They usually have like an ostrich, or that's the one I'm most familiar with. But they also have boats. Some ride on tigers, lions. But every god or goddess has a vehicle of transportation. And in the Natarian tradition, they all have boats. In fact, isn't there at the Temple of Abdu, at Abydos, Temple of Asar, there's a room specifically for the boats, because at Abdu, there's like 9 deities honored there besides Asar, HetHeru, Aset, Heru, Amun, Ptah. I can't remember all of them, but they have a room just for the boats, because when they have the processions, they bring the statues of the deities out on the boats. Yes, you're good with your surfboard. Yes, I definitely recommend the surfboard on the ocean of consciousness. I'm gonna remember that. Okay, everyone. Well, it's been delightful. I did not expect to be here this long, but what else do you expect for the conclusion of such an amazing series? And please go back and watch them all together if you can. I don't know who's going to have time to watch all of them together. I go through and find a highlight and post a little clip. And eventually they'll all be recorded and, like different CDs. Like I'll have a CD for the New Year, because there's 7 days of that holiday, the birthday of the Netters. And then there's this 7-day holiday, the journey of HetHeru to Nubia. And then there's the worship of the goddesses. I'm working on my mystical, ma'atical, musical CD right now, and it's taking me a while. What is my contact info? Should be somewhere on here. Okay, I'll type it in. My website is tachia.com for music. Wellness, lightbeingwellness.com for wellness. I hope I'm spelling this right. L-I-G-H-T. And some of these devices are about to lose battery power. I'll go ahead and close it out so it doesn't mess it up too bad. And I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Pinterest, Telegram, Melanated People, Spotify. If you just look up my name, Tachia Ahmet, you will find it. And email address, since this is music, we'll do Ahmet13 Tachia@gmail.com. And they should be listed in the description. So I'll make sure that that's working. It should be automatically posting, but you never know with these things. When am I coming back to Arizona? Wow. Well, if you invite me and send me a plane ticket and a place to stay, I'll be there in a few days. No, seriously. The transition from reggae world music artist to devotional world music has been interesting, especially with COVID. I was still trying to put on music events, live events before COVID when I moved to Chicago. And then COVID hit, and so I've been doing these devotional online events. However, I finally found a venue that wants to host my reggae world music concerts with a full band. So once that gets going and I release more music, recorded music, it's my intention, my prayer, my wish, my assumption that I will start touring again. It's been a very long time without touring. I really miss playing with a band. I don't know if you know my little story. Where's my violin? I don't have a violin, but I have a harp. Pull it out. My little sob story. You know, I was playing reggae. I was in a reggae band. There's a little reggae bass line that I use for one of my songs. And I was married to the drummer, producer for almost 20 years. And when we divorced, I didn't know how to do everything in the music business myself. And a lot of the musicians wouldn't play with me without my ex-husband. So I was alone. And then I found HetHeru Nectar, and I started writing all these comedic musics because I was healing. I was healing from so much sadness and loss. And then when I moved to Chicago, I met a band. I put together a new band. And we did a few shows. We got to play at the Standing Rock Summer Solstice Medicine Wheel Park Festival. Don't ask me why there's no video of our performance. I was told there would be. And we did a few shows in Chicago, and then COVID, and I've just been doing these online events. So it took me like all this time, 11 years, to heal from the divorce and the loss of the reggae connections. And there's a reason for that. That was just not the right vibration for me anymore. And so now I'm finding comedic connections that like reggae. All right. And also I have the Native American music, Native American medicine music that would be very appropriate in Arizona. But for now, I'm focused on these comedic wisdom teachings because they mean so much to me. Am I still doing tuning forks to heal chakras? Yes, I am. That work is at the other YouTube channel, the Kimatones Cosmic Sound Healing channel. And I think if you go to the Tachia Ahmet YouTube channel, over to the right side of the screen, it'll say other channels, and you can click there. And I am doing astrology sound healing live streams there, and I am still doing one-on-one sessions, and I'm hoping to start teaching someday. That's what I'm working towards, to start teaching. Okay, Gaston, well, if you have any more questions, just reach out to me at ahmet13tachia@gmail.com, or sometimes that email address is acting wacky, so lightbeingwellness@gmail.com will work also. And I have a link tree with all my links, and I have a hi hello link. I guess I could find it really quickly and add it here. Then you'd have everything. I'll post my hi hello and my link tree in the comments, and then I will sign off. Link tree to Chia. I think if you just Google my name, though, everything would show up. Yeah. Sometimes things don't happen as fast as I want them to. I guess this link tree will be good enough for you. Link tree to Chia Ahmet. Okay, there's my link tree. I am already teaching. Thank you. I meant the certification for sound healing. Basi Rhonda took the level 1 Kimatone. She took the very first and only time it has been offered, Kimatone's Cosmic Sound Healing. The full moon is in the sidereal constellation of Taurus. The sun is in Ophiuchus, the 13th constellation. Well, actually, yesterday the sun transitioned into the next constellation of Sagittarius during the full moon. So, yes, horoscopes, sidereal astrology, 13-month Kemetic sidereal astrology. I don't think I spelled everything right. So, Gaston, if you're interested in the sound healing sessions, I can't do long distance sound healing effectively. I can do with the tuning forks. I do self-care sessions, and when I'm working on myself, like you feel the vibrations, so I could do that if you want to try to do that long distance. What I suggest for long distance is when I set up the chimes, and I do your chart. Reading takes it could take anywhere from 3 to 7 days because I put together a booklet for you. Then you can get a one-on-one consultation, and then you can also get what's called Kemetic connections, where it's the chimes and offerings chanting along with the chimes that are tuned to your birth. So no one else gets these combinations of offerings. It's just for you. And then the idea is you can use those for your own self-care and your practice. And you can find out about all that at lightbeingwellness.com. The tachia.com website is for my music. Oh, let's see if the Hi Hello. The Hi Hello is a digital business card. I don't know if it's going to let me sign in quickly because, yeah, I don't know my password. That's... Oh, wait, I know. I think I know it. That's my problem most of the time is password. That was not the right password. Okay, well, you got the link tree, so that will get you started with my contact information. So I have a question for you all. What is the best time for these live streams? Like this week I tried it at times that were convenient for myself. I know on TikTok, the best time is like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And sometimes I can do that. But if you could let me know somewhere what is a good time for these sessions so you can join me, because I'm so excited that you all are here. It looks like if I had started at 7 o'clock, you might have caught the whole thing. Someone's asking about their birth sign. Let me see, where did I leave my chart? Hold on, I don't know where I left it from the other day. Oh, it's probably where I was doing my astrology reading. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah, since the planets don't... Oh! Never leave your harp on the floor. Since the planets don't move at a regular pace like they do with the Western system, like in the Western system, it's every 30 days that it moves into a new sign. But that's a man-made system. And in reality, they're not even at all, as you can see. This is Virgo? Pisces. Pisces is very large, and I'm looking at it backwards. Here's Pisces, and then this is Virgo. Okay, and so this is based on the true motion of the stars. I mean the sun and the planets through the stars, through the constellations. That's why it's called sidereal, because sidereal means stellar. To me it says sidereal. So, let's see, Taurus. Yeah, so when is your birthday? Because we can see, because they're all off by about a month. And then the 13th, it's backwards. I'm sorry. The 13th constellation is here, Ophiuchus. And we just left Ophiuchus heading into Sagittarius. And Scorpio is only 7 days long in reality. May 19th. According to reality, you are still considered a Taurus. So, yay! Hopefully you don't have to adapt. The way that we view this system is the regular astrology system is how you move about Earth, because it's based on the Earth's orbit around the sun. And then the sidereal system has to do with your purpose and your destiny and your calling and why you're here. Yes, of course you are. This chart is called 13 months Kemetic Sidereal Astrology. And time moves forward one day every 70 years due to the precession of the equinox. And we know this is true because we have seasons. We have seasons because the Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees and it wobbles as it orbits on its own axis and around the sun. It's wobbling. And so that is the cause of the precession of the equinox, which, by the way, is a galactic cycle, which is a 260,000 year event. And then we have 26,000 year event. But I don't want to get into astrology. This channel is for the Ancient African Adorations devotional world music. And I did post the full moon transmission. I did it a few days early because I knew I was going to be doing this on the full moon. So you can watch those, the full moon transmission. The full moon transmission will be active until the new moon. And it's more beautiful music that came through. And then if you have any questions, since I have 500 subscribers on that channel, I also can interact with messages. So just send me your questions and I'll make a video. All right. I made a note. I'm supposed to make a video about the Laden Papyrus. Yeah, watch that one. And let me know what you think. I have them all the way back. I'm trying to do them ahead of time so that more people can see them. Because once the event passes, people are already waiting for the next event. So I'm trying to get into the habit of doing it ahead of time. Okay, Dua. This has almost been a 2-hour YouTube session. It's never happened to me before. Can you look at yours? Yes. August 17th. Yeah, August 17th, you are still considered a Leo. True Leo begins on August 10th. And Virgo begins on August... Leo goes from August 10th to September 15th, and Virgo starts September 16th. So August 17th, you are still a Leo. Hey, Marcus Garvey in the house. I am no longer living in California. I moved to Chicago about 3 years ago. Why did I move from a beautiful valley in the country, in California, in the mountains, to the city of Chicago? Yeah, I ask myself that a lot. I inherited an apartment building, and I moved here to work everything out. I still have my home in California, and I hope to go back there someday. But I would love to tour in Arizona. It's been how many decades? I don't know. 2 decades. No, it's been a decade. 2 decades? No, I went... Yeah, I guess it is almost 2 decades. Okay. Djehuti, thank you so much for being here. Please tell all your friends about these broadcasts. The next one will be on the 21st at 6 a.m. Right? Yeah, on the winter solstice. And then also at 9:30 a.m., I'll be live streaming the Medicine Wheel Spiral Dance ceremony in honor of the winter solstice. So that will be at 9:30 a.m. Central because the winter solstice is at 9:58 a.m. And then we'll have 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 at 6 a.m. and December 31st at 12 midnight Central Time. Well, 11:30 p.m. Central Time. Thank you. Yes, the time and energy is very important to be doing things like this. Dua Hatep, thank you for being here. It would be really boring without you.